That may have been one of the stupider things I've ever done. Stop trying to neck me, bro. So joke's on me, we aren't able to get into the park at all to grab some lunch, and you need to see these views. We made it past checkpoint number 1. This place is so pretty. Hey guys, it's Jake and welcome to the channel where I share trail videos, tips, and recommendations. And in today's video, we'll be going around the Glacier National Park and staying in Kallispell. If you guys could do me a huge favor and tap the like button, it just lets YouTube know that people like the content, so it will get shared with more people, which is a huge help for me. We're in Kallispell and we're about to head out for the day. Some tips though, the places are not open on Sundays apparently. With a lot of the coffee shops, we weren't having a lot of luck. One other tip is that to get into Glacier National Park, there's a portion of the road which is the road to the sun god.
Going to the sun road.
Okay, so when going to the sun road is a real popular thing to do, which gives you access to different lakes and mountains, but they have a limited access. I'm not sure whether that is all the time or because of what's going on, but we were able to luckily get a spot, but within 2 or 3 minutes they were sold out. So we are going to explore around to see what you can do. We don't have one of those passes, and then we'll go tomorrow using the pass. First stop was for some coffee, which was attached to a casino and had people just walking through the drive-thru. We then went over to the national park. My thought was that we would be able to get to different portions of the park which aren't on the Going to the Sun road. So joke's on me, we aren't able to get into the park at all. The reservation tickets cost you $2 and will be needed until September 6th. You need to pass at all times. So luckily we have one for tomorrow, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do this. And this is something new which is instituted because we're just anticipating so many people coming in. So luckily we have one, otherwise that'd be a huge bummer.
So there's 145 slots for reservation for going to the Sun Road or to enter at West Glacier. But if you have like a campground reservation or if you have a reservation at one of the lodges, then obviously you have access to everything. So if you don't have any of those reservations, then you have to make like a specific reservation to use the road to get in.
Right outside the park, they have a little shopping center with your miniature golf, your giant chairs. So we're gonna sit in those, we're gonna shop, and then try to figure out how to spend our day. We weren't able to get into Glacier National Park, so we're now exploring around in downtown Kallispell, but it looks like nothing's open, so we're gonna try to see what we can do. We were able to find a couple stores which were open, and we did wander around a bit downtown because it has a cool look and a nice vibe. We then made our way to Lakeside, which was a town we saw on our drive-in. We've made it to the Harbor Grill to grab some lunch, and you need to see these views. The restaurant is seated right on the harbor with a patio that has a great view of the lake. The restaurant was really cool and the food was pretty good, but obviously the main draw was to be able to have the view, but if you do not want to eat, check out this location. We're in Lakeside, and a nice place to hang out if you want to be by the water would be to come to Volunteer Park, which is right on the water. You have a lot of space, you can hang out on the dock. Looks like you can hop into the lake as well and go for a swim, and overall would be a great place to hang out, and that's why we're here. There were people that were hanging out by the water, people kayaking, and overall it looked like a great place to bring kids or to just relax. Like most of these days, you are able to find a couple breweries in Kallispell, and we went to Bias Brewing. And then went to Sweet Peaks for some ice cream, which I would highly recommend. Our second attempt at trying to get into the park, but the first stop is to grab some coffee. Can I do it as? Yeah. Huckleberry is a huge thing up here, and they have it in almost everything. They have it within jams, with drinks. So I wanted to try a Huckleberry cinnamon roll to see what that was all about. It kind of just tastes like a cinnamon roll, and I don't know what Huckleberry is supposed to taste like, but it does taste like a cinnamon roll to me. Made it past checkpoint number 1. Should be good, but we're hopeful. I'm kind of nervous, scared. But we made it. Well, we're now in bear country apparently, so steer clear. We're at the Fish Creek picnic area, and now we're gonna go over to the campgrounds to try to go for a small hike, which may not work that well because I'm in a boot, but we'll see how it plays out. Not that you care, but I got a crazy high ankle sprain from playing basketball, which kind of limited my mobility. There's a dude up here, like right here, and he just pecking some wood. But we're on the Rocky Point Trail, which is right by Lake Mcdonald, which is an easy 1.5 to 2 mile hike, which will take you right near the shoreline. You'll first get some time within the trees and the woods before being able to see the lake. We're still on that Rocky Point Trail, and there's a lot of bugs. And there are a lot of bugs though, so keep that in mind. But when they talked about the trail, and they said that you would be on the shoreline and you're near it, but you're not actually on it. You do have a couple points where you can break off to go look at the lake, which is right behind me obviously, and it's super pretty. We made it out to the Rocky Point, which was an easy hike. There's not a lot of elevation. It's pretty flat for most of it. This whole area is really cool, and if you're into outdoor stuff, then I would recommend and that you give yourself a little bit of extra time, because if we had more time, then I think that we would like to do some of the kayaking, the paddleboarding, the biking, the rafting. Just have a lot of options up here. When you drive around the park, you'll have a bunch of places to stop to get some great views. One of the reasons Lake Mcdonald is so iconic is because of the colored pebbles, and the reason they have that is because of the amount of iron which is in them, or that's what Google tells me at least. Right now, what's kind of crazy is they are only allowing in 150 cars per day.
With the exception of the campers and lodge.
Kind of crazy is that when you go to any place like the lodge or to the visitor center, they're really empty, which is really unique. Made it to Lake Mcdonald Lodge, which has a Swiss chalet look to it, so let's show you around, I guess. You're obviously able to stay at the lodge, which would be a really cool location because it was right on the water. What's cool about the park is that you have more restrooms, you have camp stores, You have restaurants, which is something that we didn't really see when going to Yellowstone. Around the park, you'll have a lot of places to stop where you can randomly just come across waterfalls. On our way to the Trail of the Cedars, which is like a mile where you have a paved, we were going to try to go up on to the Going to the Sun Road, but it looks like it's closed. We will try to do some more research on that, because hopefully we can see some more, because if not, that would be a huge letdown. Here comes the moment of truth of what the sign says.
So it looks like that there's danger of an avalanche, so they close the road.
Which is a bummer.
And they're having it looks like the bicyclists come back.
No bicyclists, there's no cars because there may be an avalanche. A bummer. The full loop to complete the Trail of the Cedars is about 1 mile and is a pretty easy walk. They have the wooden planks and is very flat. Given the road closure on the Going to the Sun Road, we have extended the Cedar Trail hike into the Avalanche Lake hike, which is around 2 miles each way, but then you come up onto a lake which has some mountains. It's gonna be pretty, hopefully. The hike is pretty flat and it would be pretty easy if I wasn't using a crutch or a boot. That may have been one of the stupider things I've done, to hobble with a boot and a crutch 2.5 miles one way, but look at the view. Oh God, I'm trying to nectar me.
Yeah. Really get space.
Stop trying to nectar me, bro. When we were leaving, we also saw a deer which walked right past us, which was pretty cool. Road closure, we can't do much more. We went on 2 hikes, we saw some lakes, but the one thing that I would recommend is that if you're coming here, to give yourself more time, because we would still like to do so much more, whether that was kayaking or riding bikes, going rafting. Looked like they even had horseback riding. After nearly 7 miles of hobbling around with a crutch and with a boot, I think that I've earned some pizza and a beer and a little bit of ice cream. So we are gonna go to Mackenzie's River
Pizza Company,
and then to the Kallispell Brewery, and then to like an ice cream place. Let's montage our way through it all. The pizza was pretty good, and they had some unique flavors like buffalo chicken, as well as the full veggie option. We then made our way over to Kallispell Brewing, which had a cool indoor space as well as a patio space that overlooked the downtown area. We then made our way back across the street to go to Sweet Peaks, and that would still be a place that I would highly recommend. One final stop for coffee before making our drive back to Bozeman. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a better idea of what to do when coming to Glacier National Park. And if you want to see other travel destinations, then you can check out my channel page, or there's a link down in the description. And if you want to be around for when I post my next videos, do not forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.